things are made from one, and in the end, all things return to one.
In other words, one is all.
Indeed, and all is one as well.
All is ultimately of the one. So if all is not included in the one, then all is nothing.
You have passed.
Peace now is the vibrate. Y'all know what it is. Oh man, the sun energy. Matter of fact, when dealing with the energy of, feeling like somebody's kind of spying on your energy, it's just like literally like somebody could only spy on you if you're in a space where they could see you, So if somebody's trying to spy on you from the first floor, but you're on the 5th floor, they're not going to be able to spy on you. AKA, if you're not on the vibration of the first floor, neither, this is not even bringing it into good or bad, but if you're vibrating on the frequency of the first floor, that entity, person, being is trying to spy on you from, then they could be able to, sense and see what you're doing, and this is metaphysically, on also like astral project / just like in, certain magical movies and shows where, certain beings looking through certain animals, like certain beings probably could look through flies or look through mosquitoes or look through spiders or look through birds or look through, and this is a balanced energy to have. Again, you're not putting yourself in a space of, fear mongering, and you're not putting yourself in a space of, oh, everything's so external, but ultimately, again, first you attract that situation to you, and then you have to, do your internal work to prevent that, energy from existing, and to prevent that, connection or that type of, connection / relationship, aka like that voyeurism type of relationship that you may have with a certain entity or being. You got to do whatever inner work you got to do in order to not keep going into the vibration that allows for them to be able to, see what you're doing. And you'll have certain little symbols. I realize, like, when you're doing certain levels of energy work, you may get signs and symbols of the fact that, all right, this energy or entity not able to see me when I'm vibrating like this. And, that's also having to deal with, the energy of, like, and it's just what it is, in a dual, looking at it from the dualistic perspective, everything interconnected, everything is whole, it starts within first and then goes external, we know the whole gist of that, and also while dealing with the external realm and the individual aspect of this experience, because it's not just, wholeness and oneness to the extreme, because if that was the case, you could put cow manure on your chest to help a patch of grass grow. And that's not the case, You're still interconnected with the grass, but it's not to that extreme. And the same thing with, our individual experience, again, within this realm, everything is interconnected, And at the same time, though, you have a unique individual soul purpose and something that you're doing. And some things in this external realm don't align with that. Although you might be interconnected to them, certain things don't, certain people, places, and things don't align with what you got going on for yourself. And again, this goes to, entities or spirits, that almost like, like goons, in essence, trying to trigger you into the vibration so this other entity can spy on you, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you go somewhere and you're out of range, aka this spirit or entity cannot see you, in essence, like they're not able to directly, spy on your energy metaphysically from afar, because you're vibrating on a frequency that, where it's like you have your window closed, then something could, appear, or be sent your way to trigger you. Let's just say, again, just simply put, let's just say you have to be vibrating on the frequency of fear in order for this being to spy on you, you know what I'm saying, or to, have some form of connection to affect you in some kind of way. It's like when you're in a vibration of fear, now all of a sudden the police can stop you, you know what I'm saying, when you're driving, compared to when you're not in fear. They're not even seeing you. They're not even capable of even seeing you, in essence, because they're not even vibrating nowhere close to the frequency you're on, But let's just say, all right, let's just say the police had a spirit or entity where they like, man, I'm trying to spy on this person. So I'm going to send some spirits or entities out to get them to be thinking about something fear. It could be anything, but to get them into a fearful vibration, a fearful state of being, so that I can, as the police, we could spy on them now, because they're in a fearful vibration. They're in a space that is on the same floor that we are on. So we're able to see through their window, because now, they on the same floor as us, you know what I'm saying? AKA on the same vibration, on the same dimension, And so this, is how this energy works, and why certain things do come, into our space to trigger us. And then ultimately, internally, first and foremost, it's you having to maintain a healthy vibration, because you attract these things or create these situations due to your internal vibration first and foremost. Because again, these police and these entities and spirits they send don't have any control over you. The most they could do is trigger you into a reaction that brings you into a certain vibrational space that makes you vulnerable to that energy. You know what I'm saying? And hence why shit get real weird once you become aware of this, because you start to realize, oh shit, it's people who, I consider my friends, or it's family members who sometimes become vessels for this entity or spirit that be trying to fearmonger me, you know what I'm saying? To get me in a fearful state so I could, be drained by this energy or be watched by this energy, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, but again, it's first internal, then external, and again, this is just how this dynamic works, It's like, and this is what it is, on a level where, being fully honest, you know what I'm saying? And not just, again, it ain't all cake and ice cream, but you can enjoy your experience and live the life you love, without all of this extra shit. It's still gonna be, antagonists existing, but because of you being so aware of yourself, because of you doing your inner work to because this is also what it speaks to. Much love to Bridget Ra for putting me on Yu-Gi-Oh, because this is what's on Yu-Gi-Oh as well, showing the dynamics of, depending on how much you've done your shadow work or how much you haven't done your shadow work, so if you haven't been doing, let's say, there's still a lot of shadow work for you to do, then you could be triggered into these states of being, whether it's fear, guilt, whatever, but that brings you into a certain vibration that puts you on the same floor, what I'm saying, whether, fifth floor, 100th floor, first floor, it puts you on the same floor, the same dimension as these other, parasitic, vampiristic, voyeuristic type of entities or beings, what I'm saying. But if you've done your shadow work and that normally you get triggered into guilt when somebody says this, so when somebody said, now you respond properly, so now you maintain a healthy vibrational frequency, so now you don't keep going into this certain dimension or this certain space, that makes you vulnerable to all these other little, entities and things of this nature. Because again, this is the paradox of this realm, it's the aspect of, wholeness or oneness existing at the same time as an individual experience, and I broke down the whole thing with the individual and divine, and the word divine also is a part of the word division as well, what I'm saying. No good or bad, right or wrong, just the etymology just shows how, in essence, how the unique experience was created, but you'll watch that video for that. But again, simply put, it starts with your inner work, by grounding yourself, by meditating, by, finding, making time to, do what you love, what I'm saying, by finding out what you love to do or what you value doing, what I'm saying, studying yourself, like all this helps to, prevent you from, vibrating on the frequency, of these vampiristic, again, voyeuristic, parasitic, and if you don't know what voyeur is, go look it up. But voyeuristic, aka what I'm talking about, is like spying on your energy, like somebody voyeuristic, they kind of, and I may be, voyeuristic may not be a word, but this voyeurism, voyeur energy, what I'm saying, of just kind of like spying and looking from afar, what I'm saying, that type of energy, because it does exist, but again, it doesn't have any external control over it. That's where the illusion come in. Is like when you go to thinking like, oh, I have no control over this energy or entity spying on me. It's like, no, yes you do. It starts with you first and foremost, then it turns into something external. And if you forget about your power to change what's going on inside of you, to change what's going on outside of you, then that's where you forget and you think like, oh, I'm powerless to this. But it's only you feeling powerless because you keep forgetting your power and your ability to shift that energy internal and then shift it externally. You know what I'm saying? But, because again, this is very key, this is very important, and this is one of those types of dynamics that I may have not, gotten, specifically in one short video. I may have spoken of it, in a long 1 hour video, but just me getting specifically to it, what I'm saying. And ultimately, what I'm saying, again, I was guided to share it right now. So it, of course, has some form of significance and will be very helpful to, those of you who are watching. You know what I'm saying? Again, and the more we remember these types of things, the more, again, like the subconscious, like we repetitively remind ourselves of these types of truths. Then again, because in most cases, you get attacked through, again, like I just said, through the lack of memory. You forget who you are. You forget how your internal creates external. You get overwhelmed by the let's say the subconscious collective, feeling everything in the energy field, you know what I'm saying? And feeling things in the energy field that's not necessarily the perspective that you have learned over the past recent years. You have learned, if you this far, watching these types of videos and stuff, you have learned about your energy, learned, in some way, whether on a large scale or small scale, who you are, and that you're more than just a human, having a spiritual experience, but you are a soul, on a human experience, no thing on a human experience. But definitely just want to share that, and you could pay attention to the signs and symbols, again, like once you start to, vibrate on a certain frequency, and then it becomes more and more easier, again, as you remember, and you're able to laugh at it. Because one thing is that, like, not making when I say being able to laugh at it, not making it a joke to the point of where you're not taking, there's a balance, again, like, not taking it too serious, but definitely understanding, like, if you don't want to feel a certain way, you don't want to be dealing with certain entities and spirits, that makes you feel very, very, very uncomfortable, then, to some extent, you want to make sure you take, your discipline of your spiritual practices, the discipline of being aware of what's going on inside of you. You want to take these disciplines, some kind of serious, not to an extreme, to where you never have fun, or you never able to laugh at yourself while going through these things, because that helps. Again, I brought up the example before of in Harry Potter, the whole little ridiculoso spell, you know what I'm saying, where when coming across, I forgot what they were called in Harry Potter, but these like dark entities that would like try to suck at your soul, which was kind of very serious, using the ridiculous energy, you know what I'm saying, like turning it into something ridiculous like balloons or something, but being able to laugh, because just because you're laughing in the face of quote unquote danger, and you're able to laugh on your spiritual growth, you know what I'm saying, as you quote unquote make mistakes, or you're dealing with certain tough energies, just because you're able to laugh at it doesn't mean you're not taking it serious. Because again, they were taking their magical protection class. So in essence, they were taking their protection seriously by learning how to laugh at very dark things, you know what I'm saying? So even the paradox in that, they were taking their spiritual protection and magical protection very serious by learning how to turn these dark entities or energies into something that they could laugh at, you know what I'm saying? Now is to vibrate, not going too far in the future, not going too far in the past right now. Peace.